Hi, my name is AJ Walker, and I am a member of TADA's Resident Youth Ensemble. Last week, I taught you all the dance to a song called Secret Agents from the TADA show Up to You. Today, I will be teaching you the dance to a song called More Than a Brain from the TADA show Geniuses, which I was in 2018. In the show, during the section of the song that I'm going to teach you, everyone starts by singing and dancing the same thing, and then it splits into 3 different parts, with each part singing and dancing their own thing. Today, I will teach you the dance to each part, and you can mix it up however you want. Let's get to it. So the lyrics to the first part of this section, which everyone does together, are more than a, more than a, more than, more than a, more than a, more than. And so every time more than a is sung, which is like 100 times throughout this next section, there are 2 different steps that go with it. The first step is a really deep into the ground stomp. So if you have downstairs neighbors, you might want to warn them before you attempt this. So you're going to start by putting all of your weight onto your right foot, and then using your left foot, which is free, you're going to lightly push off the ground and then stomp into the ground with your right foot. And so you're going to keep stomping with your right foot and then pushing off with your left foot, and then your arms are going to be down by your side with your hands in fist. And this should look something like this. Now the next part of the more than a section is a step called the running man. And if you don't know how to do it, it looks like this. So we're going to do this step facing the right, and you're going to start by putting your right leg behind you, and then bringing your right knee up. And as your right knee goes down, you're going to put your left leg behind you, and then bring your left knee up. And so your feet keep switching with your leg going back and your knee coming up on both sides. And then once you have the feet, you can add in the arms. So you're going to start with your arms facing straight out, and then every time your leg goes back, you're going to pull your arms back and push your chest out just a little bit. And then when your knee comes up, you're going to put your arm back to the front. And you're going to do this on both sides. So all together for the more than a section, it looks like this. More than a, more than a, more than, more than a, more than a, more than. And then you're going to switch into the running man. And you're going to turn and do more than a, more than a, more than, more than a, more than a, more than. And so that is one set of more than us. And so then after one set of more than us is when it splits into the second part. Now, for the next part of this section, after one set of more than us, you can either continue to do the more than a step, or you can move on to the next part. So the lyrics for the next part are, we are more than a brain, so much more than a brain, we're filled with inner feelings that we cannot explain. And so the first part of this step is a travel step. You're going to start by taking 3 steps to the right, and then you're going to jump and pump your right fist into the air like this. Then you're going to take 3 steps to the left, and jump and pump your left fist into the air like this. And so with the lyrics, that looks like, we are more than a brain, so much more than a brain. And then for we're filled with inner feelings that we cannot explain, you're going to cross your hands over your heart like this, and stomp your right heel into the ground. And then when you say that we cannot explain, you're going to open your arms out in front of you and spread your hands apart like this. So that looks like, we're filled with inner feelings that we cannot explain. And so that second part is repeated twice. So you do 1 set of more than us, and then 2 sets of the second part, which is, we are more than a brain, so much more than a brain, we're filled with inner feelings that we cannot explain. And then we move into the last part. The lyrics for the last part of this section are, we have a yearning to move with every sensible groove. And so for this, you're going to start by locking your hands together, and then you're going to hold them flat out in front of you and do this wave motion with your arms. And so once you have the arms down, then you can add in the feet. You're going to start by stepping with your right foot, and then putting your left foot behind you, and then stepping with your left foot and putting your right foot behind you. All while doing this wave motion with your arms. So with the lyrics, that looks like this. We have a yearning to move with every sensible groove. Then all together, everyone is going to say, we have emotions that we cannot contain. And so once again, you're going to put your hands over your heart and stomp it to the ground with your right heel. And then when you say that we cannot contain, you're going to raise your arms above your head like this. So with the lyrics, that looks like, we have emotions that we cannot contain. And now in the music, you'll hear that contain is held out, and then there's a bump in the music, so that looks something like this. We have emotions that we cannot contain, bump. And so on that bump in the music, you're going to want to strike a pose. So in the show, my pose was like this. So on that bump in the music, this is the pose that I'm gonna hit. And so then after that bump in the music, it says one last time, we're more than a brain. And so you're gonna look out on the word brain from the pose that you're holding. So altogether, that will look like this. We have emotions that we cannot contain. Bump, we're more than a brain. And that's all that there is to this section of the dance.